new cases recorded. Total COVID-19 patients rises to 408. GDP forecast to grow 3.8% this year. Vietnam and New Zealand commit to strategic education partnership. Planters chop down durian trees to improve farm soil. Hello and welcome to FBNC News with latest updates from Vietnam. I'm Yến Trần. 7 Russian men coming to Vietnam to work as experts for an oil and gas company have tested positive for COVID-19. The group aged between 42 and 55 landed at Tân Sơn Nhất International Airport in Ho Chi Minh City on July 11th and were quarantined in Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu province immediately after entering the country. They have now been treated at Bà Rịa Hospital. Vietnam has not seen any new cases in the community for 97 days. More than 12,000 people are currently quarantined at hospitals, medical centers, and at home. The Ministry of Transport has assigned the Vietnam Aviation Administration to negotiate with the Chinese aviation authorities on the frequency and conditions of passenger transport between the two countries. At the same, Vietnam will negotiate with other countries to increase rescue flights and resume commercial flights from Vietnam to those countries. Previously, the Ministry of Transport had reported to the Prime Minister on the plan to resume some flights on the regular international trade routes, with the first stage only allowing 1 flight per week for each country. It is expected that this plan will be implemented from August. Vietnam's growth rate this year would reach 3.8% if there is no second COVID-19 outbreak in the second half of the year and the economic activities gradually resume, the Vietnam Institute for Economic and Policy Research, or VERP, has predicted.
Vietnam is one of few countries to have achieved positive economic growth in the second quarter of 2020. Reaching 0.36%. For the first 6 months of the year, GDP increased by 1.81%. In the difficult context, agriculture has been a highlight of the economy in the first half of the year, contributing 12% to the overall growth, double the same period last year. The second contributor was manufacturing and processing, which contributed about 5% of overall growth. This was partly due to the public investment and construction activities still occurred in the process of social distancing. VEPR experts said that Vietnam's economic prospects in 2020 would depend on the ability to control the disease, not only domestically but also in the world. They said factors that support the growth in the second half of the year included expectations on economic prospects due to the signing of the European Union Vietnam Free Trade Agreement (EVFTA), disbursement progress of Vietnam investment projects, investment waves into Vietnam, and a stable macroeconomy. However, Vietnam had been also facing many challenges in the unstable world economic environment and uncertain future. The recurrence of COVID-19 in many countries was accompanied by lockdown measures, making a lengthier break of the supply chain, while geopolitical conflicts among large countries could make an open economy like Vietnam face unexpected risks.
Japan will assist apparel maker Matsuoka Corp in producing protective clothing in Vietnam to diversify supply chains and lessen its dependence on China amid the coronavirus crisis.
Matsuoka plans to invest 3 billion Japanese yen in Annam Matsuoka's garment company, its Vietnamese manufacturing unit, to start production of protective wear and other items in several months. Matsuoka is one of 30 Japanese firms which were recently named recipients of official subsidies from the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry to promote Japan's drive to diversify supply chains and reduce its dependence on China. The Japan External Trade Organization, which announced a list of subsidy recipients last week, said 15 of 30 firms are connected with projects in Vietnam and 6 in Thailand. Matsuoka of Fukuyama, Hiroshima Prefecture, established its Vietnamese branch last November before the coronavirus outbreak as part of an ongoing campaign to produce apparel products, mainly in Southeast Asian countries such as Indonesia, Myanmar, and Bangladesh.
Vietnam and New Zealand have renewed their strategic engagement plan on education for the next 3 years from 2020 to 2023. The plan was signed between representatives of both countries at a ceremony in Hanoi on Tuesday, July 21st.
In accordance with the plan, initiatives across education sectors in New Zealand and Vietnam will be carried out, including joint programs in the tertiary sector, innovative education models implemented, and online delivery. Collaboration to improve institution-to-institution partnerships for English language training and alumni engagement will be continued. Speaking at the event, Vietnamese Deputy Minister of Education and Training Nguyễn Văn Phúc proposed New Zealand continue supporting Vietnam in education, especially in human resources training in higher education, improvement of English proficiency for Vietnamese students, teachers, and officials. Wendy Matthews, New Zealand ambassador to Vietnam, said education has always been an integral part in the growth of the Vietnam-New Zealand relationship. Tuesday's signing will serve as an effective platform to further advance education cooperation between Vietnam and New Zealand and deliver successful education outcomes for their students. By the end of 2018, more than 2,700 Vietnamese students opted to study in New Zealand. Of these, 600 are secondary school students. More than 300 Vietnamese students and 550 officials have received awards to pursue a postgraduate qualification or study English in New Zealand. 143 New Zealand students have chosen Vietnam as their study and intern destination under the ENZ-administered Prime Minister's Scholarships for Asia, which was launched in 2013.
Last Monday, the 20th anniversary of the establishment of Vietnam's stock market and Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange has officially taken place with the participation of Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc.
July 20th marked the 20th anniversary of the establishment of the Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange. Till now, many listed companies have successfully mobilized capitals to increase the scale of their productions and business activities, thereby contributing to improving the efficiency of the economy. Nghe Nguyễn, FBNC Việt Nam.
On July 20th, the 20th anniversary of the operations of Vietnam stock market and Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange had the participations of many representatives at all levels, ministries and branches, as well as Vietnam securities companies. Speaking at the event, Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc highly evaluated the development of Vietnam's stock market for the last 20 years. The market started from scratch to be included in watch list of the FTSE Russell Global Stock Index for a further upgrade from marginal to emerging secondary market in September 2019. From the first 2 listed companies, the number of stocks and fund certificates listed on 3 exchanges by the end of June 2020 reached 1,640. The total values of listed stocks on first day was 270 billion Vietnam dong. Now, the total market capitalizations of all listed stocks reached nearly 190 billion US dollar by the end of 2019, equivalent to nearly 73% of GDP, exceeding the target of 70% GDP set out in the development strategy until 2020. The stock market also witnessed the development of dozens of billion-dollar capitalized enterprises such as Vietcombank, Vingroup, Vinhome, Vinamilk, BIDV, PV Gas, etc., and accompanied by trading sessions worth thousands of billion dong. From just a vacant land, after 20 years of development, Vietnam's stock market now has become a well-positioned property with stable and safe development, not only in the country economies in general, but also in the financial segments in particular.
Vietnam has become the destination for Korean enterprises. That is the great opportunity for Vietnamese workers to further employed in Vietnam after their labor contracts in Korea are expired.
IC Food is a small, medium-sized enterprise which specializes in the production of ingredients for big Korean companies in the field of clean food and spices. This company has a manufacturing factory in Seong City, Central Korea, and 2 other factories in Sơn La and Bình Dương province of Vietnam. In the past few years, IC Food has utilized Vietnamese employees who have studied and worked in Korea.
저희 회사는 B2B 사업하고 B2C를 하고 있는데 B2B는 저희들이 원료를 만들어서 한국에 있는 라면 회사라든가 식품 회사에 원료를 공급하는 게 있고 또 두 번째 B2C는 저희들이
There have been many Vietnamese employees working at IC Food for a long time. They all feel that the working conditions and the remunerations of the company are good and fair.
Em cảm thấy những chế độ đãi ngộ của công ty đối với chúng em là khá là tốt, được hưởng hầu như tất cả những chế độ ưu đãi giống như người Hàn. Và trong thời gian làm việc ở đây thì em thấy rằng môi trường làm việc ở đây rất là tốt, mọi người rất là thân thiện. Và trong thời gian làm việc thì buổi sáng và ca sáng và ca chiều đều có thời gian nghỉ ngơi là 30 phút mỗi một ca. Và tất cả ăn uống ở công ty trong thời gian làm việc thì công ty đều chi trả hết.
In addition, after Vietnamese labor contract expires in Korea, IC Food will continue to recruit them to work for 2 branches in Vietnam.
베트남 외국인 노동자를 예전에는 쓰지 않고 최근에 와서 이제 베트남 노동자들을 쓰고 있습니다. 근데 처음에 쓸 때 언어 소통 때문에 걱정을 많이 했는데 베트남 노동자들이 굉장히 성실하고.
According to the Vietnam Labor Management Board in Korea and the EPS office, if Vietnam can exploit these opportunities, the rate of Vietnamese illegal labor in Korea will significantly reduce because there are many people who want to work for Korean companies in Vietnam after their labor contracts and visas are expired in Korea.
As a species highly sensitive to saline, during the last drought and saline season, durian growers in Bến Tre suffered tremendous damage. Some even became completely empty-handed. Therefore, despite the rainy season already approached, many growers still decide to chop down their durian trees to improve soil and either regrow a new batch or plant other crops.
The 7-year-old durian gardens of Mrs. Cao Thị Hồng Yu have been completely overwhelmed by the saline seasons. Although new leaves are still growing from the stems, the life of these durian trees are gradually declining. Seeing this disheartened scheme, Mrs. Yu's have no choice but to cut down the trees, although they are still in the harvest seasons, to grow a new batch, knowing very well the drought and saline seasons could make a return.
Nó sợ, có nhiều người ta sợ, người ta đâu dám trồng, mà tại người ta đất nhiều, miếng trồng sầu riêng, miếng trồng khác. Còn mình ít thì mình liều mạng trồng đại lại, chứ giờ không trồng thì thu nhập, bác cái thu nhập đâu có nhiêu.
Cutting down durian trees that has been around for decades and brought about economic change for many households is something almost unheard of. Although the durian gardens of Mr. Trần Văn Bia has stayed around for about 20 years, it still faces the same destiny as Mr. Yu's. Mr. Beer has also given up on growing durian trees because he is afraid of unpredictable patterns of the weather. He planned to renovate the garden to grow another crops that are resistant to saline.
Trồng chanh, trồng nhãn lợi chứ nó chịu mặn chút đỉnh được, với bưởi, nhãn rồi chịu mặn được. Còn viên thôi rồi, viên với cho mà thôi.
The prolonged droughts and saline seasons have made most of the vacant land in Bến Tre intruded by salines. When the rainy season came, a loom in the saline intruded land arose and many durian trees became dead. Right now, there are still many Bến Tre durian growers planning to chop down those trees to renovate their lands. However, they must make a difficult choice between switching to other crops more resistant to the weather or regrowing a new batch of durian to maintain the economic qualities they bring upon.
Rất là lo cái nguồn nước ngọt. Nếu mà chúng ta tái đầu tư sản xuất lại cây ăn trái thì cái nguồn nước tưới và nguồn nước sinh hoạt cho người dân đó là cái vấn đề rất là quan trọng, rất là khó khăn. Tại vì bây giờ bà con đang phân dân, cái tình hình xâm nhập mặn ngày nó càng kéo dài về thì không biết là có nên trồng lại cây sầu riêng và cây trên hay không.
As for now, some people has made the decisions to switch to other crops. Some are still loyal to the durian trees, and others are still foggy about what crops to plant. To rectify these ongoing situations, the authorities of Bến Tre province need to public guidelines on what type of crop that has high economic values and resistant to abnormal weather for the grower to plant.
Facebook, in collaboration with Vietnam Information Technology and the University of Social Sciences and Humanities Hanoi National University, officially launched the We Think Digital program in Vietnam on July 22nd.
The programs include online citizenships and safety skill training activities for pupils and students nationwide to jointly build a safe and positive internet environment. The We Think Digital programs is designed to raise awareness and equip students, parents, and teachers with key skills to move beyond digital literacy into responsible digital citizenship. The program provides training courses and educational materials on important skills such as how to protect digital identities, critical thinking, fact-checking, and promoting respectful and empathetic online discourse. We Think Digital builds on the success of the Think Before You Share programs that Facebook launched in 2018, which equipped more than 50,000 young people in 10 provinces with fundamental digital skills. At the end of 2019, Facebook conducted a pilot program for We Think Digital in Vietnam, which reached 244,813 juniors and seniors high school students and 1,277 teachers in 13 provinces and cities across Vietnam. The response from teachers and students to the pilot programs was overwhelmingly positive, and the learning from the pilots helped to shape the focus of the programs for the upcoming academic year. This work continues alongside Facebook partnerships with ISDS last year to train 70 leaders of gender-based violence organizations on protecting the safety of women online and supporting and participating in the 4th National Symposiums on Sexualities, Health and Societies to share insights on safe social media's use.
And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. We're looking forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.